Might have found a little bit here. He's now leading. He does have the HP advantage. In he goes. The edit comes from the side. A great job. EU. One goes down. Can they turn it around? Baka needs to clutch up here. No HP. Shot from behind as well. He gets the trade. This is such a tough position.
He has to try to find a stabilize, to find a moment to breathe right now, because it was game 5 yesterday. He 1v2'd Mr. Savage and I drop at the top of Chrome Jam. Now he's trying to do the same thing, but I don't know if he was able to get the opportunity to revive on one. So Baka is now by himself, but luckily for him, they did get some early eliminations, they did get some early damage, so they don't have to worry about Storm Surge. But oh my god, how are Thomas and Trippin still alive?
This is a team that will play for height, and you can see they're already positioned themselves to do it. But Aqua with the drop shot and now punished for the risk. Was it worth it? Reason has to leave him behind. He turns it around. Another team says, whoa, what are you doing? That's a solo now. And the burning of the mats here to try to survive. That's unfortunate for Aqua.
Yep. He was right there trying to chop down, and that was tantalizing him to go for that shot right then and there, and he went for it. That was a huge opportunity. Unfortunately enough, it didn't pay off, but for Acorn and Edgy, they're making it this far. And I've actually seen these guys get knocked a few times throughout this game. That was where Edgy finally went down, but for Acorn, he was one of the biggest damage dealers in the lobby throughout 6 games yesterday. Looking to keep that up for Cammy and Seti. They started the day in 3rd. They moved up to 2nd already, so their game plan is continuing to pay off.
And Zeke finds Vico in the feed there too, so things are really starting to get interesting now as we're seeing changes happen. Joe is still in this game as well. Take a look. Acorn as a solo right now, making do with anything, right? Honestly, when we last tuned in, he barely had something, but on high ground, Queasy and Vino have now solidified themselves at the Titans up top.
Yeah, that feeling of deja vu sinks in yet again. 6 moving zone. That's the same time they took it yesterday as Thomas and Trippin. This time around, they're going to have that flexibility because they're 141 above the damage threshold this time, so they don't have to go hunting. They can stay ahead of zone, try to get themselves in a good spot.
And what a beautiful way and usage of the shield bubbles to make their rotate on the dead side while using the shield bubbles. Cammy, though, caught slipping there, and Seti is left now as a solo in this endgame to the hands of Larson. Cammy falls.
Yeah, and this endgame is just getting so rough. Up and down these mountains. These players are going to have to figure out what they're going to do, especially Trippin, who is out of builds. Him and Thomas have to figure out something, but they have been through the ringer this game. If anybody deserves it, it's them.
This is crazy. Trippin and Thomas should not be alive right now, but they are staying up. Thomas,
he does it again!
Truelex with a huge refresh, and he is back in the game. It will come at the expense of Trippin falling, though. But hey, they have earned points, and now we have another top 3 player inside the game here, keeping up with the pace. Scented, Cold, still alive. 3 Elans as well. Looking to take a fight there, but no. They want to make this rotate. They need to get to the zone. What a great layer change here from Scented, and it's all about smart play from him.
Yeah, he had 2 med miss, floppers on the backside of zone. Thomas doing everything he can to stay alive, just like Larson here, who's by himself. 5 eliminations as a team, most of them coming off the back of Larson and that early game start. But first place, Queasy and Vino holding on high to the high ground in the sky.
And Brazil is still alive in this game as well. So we have EU, NA, and Brazil all in this same game. You can see the heals coming out from Ketos and PH in there. They still have so much to work with. 2 of our top 5 teams already out. So for Vino and Queasy, they are starting to take away. Trippin holding on with dear life here at 200 points, making sure the gap does not go too far. 6 elims now for a Brazilian duo. Larson has a solo right now, trying to steal away whatever he can get.
Only 2 bills of names, trying to play his cards carefully, but somehow Scented again, he goes down, but it's Thomas HD with a run of a lifetime right now, going down right before our very eyes. Top 10 finish. Now he's in the top 7 as well, trying to keep it going. KBR, Larson, all these solos coming around. This is going to get good.
Oh, right through the chrome, and Vortex puts him down. KBR, it's your turn. Nope, down he goes. And now we're looking at a 2-on-2 +1 in the mix there in the low ground. Queasy and Vino are starting to run out of, Matt's down low, but that's all. They have tons of heals to work with. Meanwhile, Bevies is just clawing his way through the builds here. It is not looking too good. Queasy's gonna get burned there for over peeking down low, but this should be their game.
That feeling of deja vu comes in yet again, picking up where they left off from yesterday. But this time, Janice and Vidil, the team from Greasy Grove, making it this far, and it's come down to a 2v2 situation between two of the top teams in EU. With Janice and Vidil feeling the pressure of the high ground, running out of builds. This is basically Queasy and Vino's game.
Both sides are starting to run out now. Queasy's down to one build as well. This is looking very dire. They're gonna have to cap off. Janice and Vidil know better. They need to continue the pressure. Vino goes down. He takes a shot. Vidil blocks it. Beautifully done. Janice stuck up from behind. Queasy with a great follow-up. And oh my gosh, it was so close. But Queasy touches out in the end. Actually jump back into this.
If anybody can do it and pick up some big placement points, it is going to be him. And if you look at his inventory, he has that recipe for success. Queasy, Vino, just looking for that information. Like I said, they're right now looking, is high ground take going to be possible? As they're spotting all these players around, figure out who is moving, where to go. Is Tripper and Thomas 33 below the damage threshold. They're going to launch pad, get ahead of zone, and as soon as they do, even though they're not in zone, they're going to be looking all around them to try to find the tags that they need.
The best part of what we're watching right now is the preparation, the hard work, and all of that coming together here for the EU trios or duos at the top right now. Because at the end of the day, we know they put in all the work. Vino is gonna find Reet and then crank his way up to high ground, and all of a sudden, he is trying to go for a back-to-back. They might just be the most winningest team of the FNCS Invitational at this rate.
Back-to-back games, 6 moving zone. They take the high ground with a well-placed launch pad, but Scented and Cold, they find 2 eliminations on their way to the end game. And if they could just make it that far, they're trying to stay ahead of zone, trying to find some elevation to work with. But Chimp and Scram fighting for the high ground against Queasy and Vino. And Vino right now doing a great job building high enough to shut down that opportunity.
Queasy's gonna meet him there as well. And look at this, it's gonna cost him a ton of material. So it's not over yet. Launchpad comes in, and there it is. He almost gets boxed out. And Queasy and Vino have to give up the high ground. Vino drops down, takes some fall damage here, and the defense, it's Chapix, it's Tayson on height, out of nowhere.
And while all this action's going down in the mud towards the low ground, Booga and Miro found 2 more eliminations. They're continuing to light things up as Andalix finding one. Vino finds another on Robot Kebab before going down. Queasy left by himself, no build, just a few bandages. This man is trying to make miracles happen. Looking towards the backside of zone, he gets shut down by Pablo.
And it's actually a time for Thomas and Tripper to catch up. Finally, this powerhouse duo is out of the lobby, but will they step up? Can they make do and take advantage of the fact that they cannot earn any points? Tripper is still alive right now. No team's getting taken out, but no, he's hurt, and he goes down. He does not manage to find anything. What's left is Seti and Kama. What's left is Booga and Miro here, but Miro's down for elimination. This is where he needs to perform best, and to the hands of Seti, Miro has fallen.
And right now, this is just an unorthodox way to take that top spot for Cammy and Seti to where they weren't as aggressive coming into this event. This is the most aggressive we have ever seen a team like them, and it is paying off tenfold as the high ground switches on over. But the World Cup champion, the solo World Cup champion, is stuck at just that, a solo, trying to stay alive, figure out what the plan is going to be, moving around the left side of zone to where not too many players are at, and the smart usage of the Chrome Splashes as well, denying the opportunity to edit through, but he finds the shots on the Scram, but he gets shot back by Chimp. This is going to come down to that. Chimp takes down Booga. Into the top 10 he goes, though.
And look at Chimp go. Look at the quick edits there as he manages to turn around. Now out of material. It's all or nothing. A quick edit down low as well to keep him in the game here. But the low ground, there's 2, and it's a dangerous 2. It's Scented. It's Cold. They're waiting here as the loot rains down the river. Unfortunately, slips away from them. Seti still alive here, trying to squeeze out as many points as possible, and he works his way on up to the top. Meanwhile, Clown playing upset in Chapix and Tayson are down. Watts and Robab managed to find 8 eliminations, and it's just Watts on height.
This is going to be a big opportunity for Wax to try to pick up as many placement points as he can as a solo. Same could be said with Seti. Chrome Splash, bobbifying himself and dashing, trying to take the high ground, but a misstep by Cold and Scented as well. They both go down to hand. He is putting on a show to bring them to the top of the leaderboard.
It only takes 1 game to jump back into this top 10 here, and you're watching players fight for it, putting it all on the line. 9 elims for Wax and Robab, 3 for Clown, who has a little high ground position here over the lobby, but they're still a duo in this game. It's Hen, it's Vortex. They're the only duo alive standing right now. 1v1v2, Clown versus versus Wox here. Wox is looking up at Height, a great jump shot there, and he is down. And now Cloud has to take on two of the best here on EU. Guildhen, Focus Vortex. It's not looking good, but it's looking great for Vortex and Hen, and they close out. Desperately running to the zone, and nothing reveals itself to him, and down he goes. But from height to height, Hijo, Belusi are still up top. They are so high up. Yeah, time to get off of this, reposition down later.
Yep, check your watch, because you know what time it is right now. 6 moving zone. This is where typically Queasy and Vino try to make a shot for it, and right now it does look like that one's going to come to fruition yet again. These guys know how to play the end game and take control, but Hijo and Belusi, one of few teams trying to fight for it as well. Macwood and Kanata flying through the sky. They don't want to even contest it. They feel safe towards the low ground in that chaos where it's so many eliminations. Even Clown picking up 2. Commandment going down. Cold gets another one, and Cammy and Seti are just sweet, strolling straight through the zone, finding themselves that sweet spot without too much to worry about.
Hen's got his eyes on Cold. Cold is hurt. Shot from behind, though, and he's still on the prowl here. There are many, many duos nearby, and the tracking on Hen is exceptional, but high ground. Queasy and Vino managed to pull through. Honestly, the resilience of this team to continue to play for height. They are now just inches away from the finish line at this point as they continue to dominate the lobby.
And look at that. They're going to be able to hold high ground on top of the blimp. They only just have to force one duo and then maybe read down off as Cold, Scented, working their way through the mud. And that's where it's going to be a treacherous journey as they find themselves front side of zone. That is a recipe for success as Hen, Vortex, all the way back. 6 eliminations, trying to find their way forward. Macwood, Repstar, they're all joining the action.
And let this be a lesson for every player here. It is not over until it's over. Hen was so far out of the competition, and now he finds himself fighting inside of the top 10 here for a spot at big money. But Pink is still alive now. His story is yet to be told, from contested drop now to an end game. Finally, we get to see what Pink is all made of here. Scented and Cold are so alive. 5 elims for them. This is where they play best, the low ground.
They have to be careful, though. That's going with an elevation change. They gotta start it now or never, and a good shot by Noah Riley to take down Reed. Everybody having those struggles. Pink goes down to the storm. Cammy gets credit for that elimination. 2 more points, 6 total overall. Cloud and Repstar trying to meet that total. They get their 6 as well. 4 for Repstar. These guys are lighting up the leaderboard, but the team having free rotation after free rotation. Queasy and Vino pressuring the lobby from the high ground.
They're looking so good doing it as well. Lucy and Hydra try to get out, and now swatted out the sky. It's over. It's a no-fly zone. And Vino and Queasy are just running away with height. Meanwhile, Scented finds one of the thieves there. Scented and Cold might be one of NAE's last hope inside this last lobby. Savage is still alive too, just by himself though, very hurt. Eye drop hunting nearby. Great way to start to turn around here and put a little pressure on the high ground, but it's time there. 111 onto height. Savage demands respect, but Queasy says stop that. It shuts it all down.
Perfect opportunity to stagger himself to the backside of zone. Spots eye drop up, but he continues to drop down low. High ground was taken away by Cammy and Seti. Better late than never as they're forcing everybody down, and they have that free rotation towards the low ground if they want to take it.
This is excellent now. Cammy and Seti have a chance here to close the gap and take back first place. They started it off that way, and they want to remain, but Queasy is still here. Don't count him out. Another set of points, and now it's Cold and Scented versus Cammy and Seti on height. And we also have Janice and Vidil in the mix.
3 teams alive, 6 total players, but Cold goes down, but Janice and Vidil get knocked as well. 1v2 situation, NAE's, the world on Sentence shoulders, but Cammy and Seti going for their 3rd victory royale in the FNCS Invitational. This is how you cement a legacy. All they have to do is close out this game as Sentence trying to take control, trying to fight for the high ground, but it's not enough. EU strikes again with Seti and Cammy taking their 3rd victory royale.
The launch pads in the inventory, they have everything they need. Queasy and Vino are playing such an interesting strategy. Late from behind, they try to swing all the way on in, and that is such an interesting way to play this one out, because what they want to do is allow the zone to pull very, very far, give them room, and then time that entrance. And now look at this. It puts them in a prime position to start eyeing and sizing up high ground. But Scented, Cold already there, beating them to the front. Start to look in. Someone lands in the box, and Cold is possibly there to defend. Yes, he's still there. It's Avery who tries to land in the box. No, sir. That was a mistake.
And they instantly close in on him like a Venus flytrap as Queasy and Vino. They've done it yet again. They have that portion of the high ground, but you see they're staggering Vino back, wanting to let nobody get any opportunity to try to steal it away. And the only person that does gets taken down almost immediately, adding to their elimination total.
They're making it look easy. Seti and Cammy now also very much positioned to make another big endgame. 15 duos remaining here. Thomas HD and Trippin still have so much left in the tank as well, but they get broken down. Oh no, a great block there though. They were just one build away from potentially getting taken out the lobby. Too much shot starts to come in now. The focus is here. He has to swing around. This is looking terrible for a second place team. Trippin is nowhere to be found. Thomas hits the launch pad. He swings past high ground and Queasy and crew. And there it is. Trippin falls. Thomas is now by himself.
They're trying to go for the high ground right now, but Chapix is shut down. But Tayson's having to do it by himself. But Queasy, he's going to abandon it for now. Vino's going to follow suit. Shots coming in. This is huge. Chapix goes down, though. The refresh and the siphon is absolutely important. Tayson trying to break into the box, but he goes down. Vino and Queasy will not be denied.
And this is why they're some of the best. He was there to back him up, and it works out so well. Bevies and Vortexer from contesting Bugha and Miro at the drop, running them out of Chonker Speedway, now running it up to the high ground here in an endgamer, looking like they want to take home their first victory of the weekend.
Down goes Vino. Down goes one member of the first place team.
To the hands of Cammy.
A chance right now for teams to try to overtake that top spot, and one of them is going to be Thomas HD as a solo, doing everything that he can, trying to move through the builds. He has enough resources to make it happen, but Queasy, no builds to his name. 1v1 against Drew, but he gets taken down thanks to the storm.
And Thomas HD is still alive right now, clutching, which is so monumental as first place has finally fallen. They have a chance to earn some points here. Cold and Scented are still alive as well. Thomas HD needs to make up 15 points in order to close the gap here. Scented needs 30. That's a huge jump up. Cammy and Seti are also still alive right now. On the heel, so close. Cold and Scented don't want any of it, and they back him off.
There's more than enough points if Scented and Cold can keep up this pace, keep up this pressure for them to have a shot at the last game at the end of the day, but Cammy will not be stopped as well. Thomas HD goes down. Seti gets dropped, but Cammy knows he can't be the hero in this situation. He has to try to continue on without him, but he finally gets dropped. Thomas HD is on a roll.
He's done a lot, but you can't fight yourself out of that spot there. Clicks and Duke are alive. Scented and Cold are alive. And on high ground, Vortex and Bevies. It's EU on top. Down goes Cold. And a great tag there from Vortexer. And the finish now, Bevies slides his way down, painting the loot here. Does a couple edits there, but no, doesn't hit the shot. Bevy is so quick, but not fast enough. You're going to get some of the best. A great low tag there from Duke.
This is huge. This is huge for Duke and Clicks. They have the high ground right now, but for Bevy and Vortexers, taking out some big names already on the day, using these builds to try to keep that advantage. Duke, he's in a fray. He ends up on top. Clicks and Duke could take the game with Vortexers going down. Bevy outside of zone. He has the only chance right now, but he gets the down on the Duke. Clicks versus Bevy. He's trying to go for the hill, but Clicks takes the game.
In a 1v1 situation, Clicks does not let us down. Moments away from taking a victory royale before things change. Miro finally starts to clap back, but what you're seeing is just the cold hands. Unfortunate. Bugha does fight back though. He will be able to save his teammate here, and does of course get the siphon as well. Material is more important though, because if Vortexer pushes up, he's got everything to gain here.
Really nothing to lose at this point. Bugha trying to will themselves back into this one, saving the play for now. Miro's still down, trying to hide his body, not wanting to get that one, give it up to Vortexers. That's 2 more points for them. Bugha doing what he can, backtracking, trying to go ahead and get his shields up as well, trying to get as many mats as possible. He knows the fight is inevitable, and the shot's gonna be landed. Bugha back to back, looking to clean this one up. All he needs is one more shot. But he's gonna find this moment to breathe and stabilize before he goes at it again.
And it looks like we will see all of our faves start to have their moment here. Bugha does need to, of course, finish it now, and he does. And there it is. They win back the drop. Chalker Speedway, they could do the unthinkable, which is play for high ground and take this all home and get their win today.
And honestly, I see it's 6 moving zone. Normally I would say it's Queasy and Vino time, but this has not been the most friendly game for them. They might not be in the same position. They might have to adapt, just like Smite and Larson. Trying to adapt, accidentally phases through the build. Luckily for him, nobody was on the inside, but the pressure is there. Larson forced to slow down just a little bit as they continue to fall below the damage threshold, along with Clix and Duke. They are 61 below, but these guys are scrappy. These guys are fighters. They know how to get the job done.
That's right, and they're in 15th right now, so Clix and Duke have a chance to fight for top 10. But like I said, I called it. If I know Macwood and Kanata well, I know that they absolutely want to make a statement, but they get chopped down. Macwood saves himself. It's all good. Vidil and Janice are the team closest right now, putting the most threat. Textbook plays here to go ahead and jump down, position up, poise up. Cold is still alive, earning points. Queasy goes for height. They said, NA, what? We're up here. Let's do it.
With or without resources, that is their play. Call it their signature move. 5 eliminations, but now they find a way to stabilize. They have done it, Monster. They have secured the high ground and taken it away from Kanata and Macwood. With the launch pad going out, that's going to be recycled for sure. Everybody has to go up and down these terrains. This one, Monster, is a literal roller coaster.
We might see a 3-way fight for height. Bad Sniper, Noah, touchdown and go for it. Jamper and Peterbot, they want their win too. Everyone wants a win here today. Bad Sniper gets slapped up by Kanata though on the side. Kanata takes down Vino while he's at it, and just like that, Queasy is left by himself.
And Cold gets another one as well. The solo plays are coming out big, and those are absolutely necessary because he's still in 3rd place. He's still in contention. Cold's trying to do it again. Spots another player out. Finally, his run comes to an end, but he did so much. And to get this far, PHN and Kitos trying to do that same thing with Brazil on their shoulders. 4 eliminations, trying to get as many points as possible. Clix and Duke trying to do the same. We talked about replicating the sex. They're trying to take that high ground away from Ken.
Cammy and Seti are here. 6 eliminations now. High ground looking down. They can get a 4th victory royale. When was the last time you showed up to finals and seen that much? I don't know. Larson is not messing around either. Down goes Duke in a huge elimination there. And that is 8 elims for Larson and Smite. They are just showing us why they are a dominant force, some of the best fighters to rise out of this last year. And I'm so happy we get to see it play out on the big stage.
Yep, no Riley taking some damage, sacrificing that so he can get that clean pad, trying to get in the zone, but 19 HP in a dream.
What an
has to find a way to stabilize here, pop those minis, get as much shield as possible as players just continue to drop toward the low ground. Janfer gets dropped. Clix versus Peterbot here towards the mud. They're trying to do everything they can to stay alive. Larson, we talked about 8 eliminations, but they added one more, 9 total, but Smite gets chunked out, but Larson's there to save the day, taking out Runa.
Already at 10 eliminations, Larson and Smite have fought their way all the way back up. Larson steps the Clix and puts them down with a quick drop kick in the low ground, and now we have EU versus NA, but Larson and Smite are hurt. They're damaged. They're down to low material. It's all or nothing right now. Cammy and Seti know what to do here. They've been here before, and they have the resources to hold this one out.
This is going to come down to it. They could get their 4th victory royale. The only team's going to stop them comes from NA. He's trying to rise up, and it does look like they are out of builds.
But they find a little bit of loot here. Larson goes for the med kit. He's trying to get as much HP as possible. Seti now starting to run out of material on the high ground. This is it. It's going to come down to nothing or everything here. As he has no maps, great tag there, and a trade, an open exchange. It's huge. Not looking good for EU right now. Into the zone they go. Smite and Larson are down. Larson is by himself, and no! He turns and gets burned. Kingen.
It's going to be scary for the rest of the lobby, though, because they have high ground, they have front side of zone. Anybody launch padding, trying to get past them, is going to feel the pain, and that includes the same region Feezin and Keto's flying high through the sky. He immediately becomes the target. Shield just getting ripped off of him, but he found himself a little bit of an oasis and a moment to breathe.
Senton looks like he fell off the build there. Cold's by himself now. Down goes Cold. That second place dream is out of the question. They will now be cemented at third as the only teams who can jump up now, PHN and Ketos, still have a chance to fight for fifth. They have to do a little bit more and put Brazil on the map, but King is being contested. He's gonna crank his way out of there, but the shots are coming in. He gets tagged one time. It's Kanata on the other side of the wall there, putting big pressure in.
Trying to figure out a way is Ed's gonna go ahead and lead the charge, allowing King to try to stabilize the air in that moment. He's gonna be the person that IGLs his way through and through, but Zone pulls back the next way. He immediately has to go back the way he came. Luckily for him, he does have enough resources. He has a great layer not to get stuck in the chaos that is below, but Joe and Z, Andy, it's their turn. With Vino and Queasy out of the game, they have a chance to hold on to the height and take the game with 7 eliminations.
Who will win the last game of the FNCS Invitational here? PHN has lost Ketos on this very dangerous rotate. He will have to use both the chunk splashes here to heal up. KBR is by himself too. He has to save King or Azit here. Meanwhile, in the distance, King gets thirsted by Acorn. He's out of the game.
He's trying to do what he can. Chili chunk splash yet again. Trying to use that speed boost, but the high ground's gonna be fought for. Kanata and Macwood, they don't want to go without a victory, but they get chopped down, sent back to the lobby. Joe and Z, Andy, with their 7 elimination, are poised to try to take the top spot, but with no resources to try to regenerate any shield or health, it could look dangerous, just like Malibuka and Mustache, wasting no time, getting into the box of Runa and sending him right back to the lobby as well.
The PHN is still here, and he is pushed off Miro. He says, turn around and get away if you don't want to be taken out just here. And take a look. Now he's looking around. He finds Alice. Oh no, that's Alice on the other side of the wall in threat. The Japanese and American duo, the combination brought together here for this very special event. But PHN, cold as ever. Look at the focus on his face here. He is waiting to land this shot. There it is. We knew he would hit it if you let him. He gets the thirst. Works his way through the build. Such a good play there, but he has no time to waste. Down he goes. The layer change here. It's all or nothing to the low ground now. That's a fresh build. That's an enemy. He doesn't want to be there.
He is the best player right now when it comes to taking the top positions away from those players that were eliminated early on, but high ground goes over to Acorn and Edgy. It's their chance to secure themselves a victory royale in an international stage. They have 13 splashes. They have more than enough ammunition between the both to put down pressure and not let it stop. But one of the big teams, the big names, Malibuka and Mustache, are standing in their way, trying to make sure Threats doesn't have a chance to survive. That's 2 more elimination points, plus the placement points that they could garner here as they enter into the top 6.
And they have a combined of about 15 chug splashes or so. They have so many heals, they can top off at any time. Zeke gets brought down after being saved by KBR. And now, Malibuka and Mustache earn themselves more. This might be the most he lives, and no! KBR falls there to the hands of U3, but now it's all up to Malibuka and Mustache down on the low ground. Robob's in between. Acorn and Edgy have a chance here to take a win, but they have to stop the W Keyers of EU, Mustache and Malibuka.
That's an insane amount of splashes between the 2 duos left alive. Robob trying to put a wrench into the mix, but this comes down to a 2v2 EU versus NA East, and both of these teams have all the resources in the world to make this one go forever. So it's about thinking outside of the box, making the move that matters most as Acorn gets tagged up. Has to find some height to re-heal. And they're both out of builds. Both of these teams are out of builds. This fight is going to come down to this as Edgy gets chunked out. He gets dropped. Malibuka and Mustache trying to take game number 12 away from NA East. And it's down to Acorn, the last member. We talked about his splashes. This one's going to come down to a heal off. Does he have enough to take the game? Menmis coming out. 5 more splashes. He has so much time left in zone, but Malibuka and Mustache, they have splashes of their own. Acorn trying to put down the shots to try to minimize the effectiveness of it. They're still in zone. It looks like Acorn has run out of opportunity. He goes down. Malibuka
to secure it. If you had asked me, Zeke, how is this event going to go? In fact, what Ghost Blake, a player we interviewed, asked me, who do you think is going to win? I said Queasy Vino, of course. I never would have imagined